All right, these things are things that I used to see from a distance, but with Carolyn Steyn these days, she's moving closer and closer to me actually knitting one of these things. Stitching towards a world record, 67 blankets for Nelson Mandela. It's a campaign aimed at collecting blankets for the needy, and it really is underway. It has been for a while. And this time around, organisers hope to break a world record, one thread at a time. And to celebrate 21 years of democracy, the initiative plans to collect 21,000 knitted blankets ahead of winter. This is amazing. Let's talk to the people behind all of this. And this year's goal is the founder of 67 Blankets, Carolyn Steyn, and of course ambassador to Moloi and expert knitter. I must say, I mean, not only one, now it's now from 2 to 1.
Yes, now
What's
I'm on my
going on here?
fourth one here actually.
I mean, I'm looking.
This is my third one that I've just finished here.
This is amazing.
So
this is amazing.
It
Carolyn,
is
look
amazing.
what you've done.
Leanne, I brought you a gift.
Thank you so much.
This is for
I'll
you.
just hold
I've actually
it.
started your square.
Yeah?
And I'm expecting a blanket by April 15th, please.
Okay. I've
So you
I've
go
already
like
done
that.
one, well, not me personally,
There
but
we go.
Lena, who works for me, she's really good. And she's promised to show me if I would at least sit with her for 5 minutes so she could show me. Carolyn, this is a movement. It's turned into a movement.
It
you know this.
really has.
It's amazing.
Who would have thought
I know
when,
what to do
when
with this. I'll just hold it. Can I just hold it? I'd love to do something with it, but I don't know what to do.
I'll give you a lesson afterwards.
Thank you,
You know,
okay.
it started off, as light-hearted banter with Zelda, our friend Zelda Lachransi,
Yeah.
challenging me to make 67 blankets by Mandela Day last year. And very good. And we created, all over South Africa, over 6,000 blankets.
Yeah.
So this year, to mark 21 years of our democracy, we want 21,000 blankets.
Wow.
By April 15th, so we need everybody to please knit away, crochet away, sew, as long as it's made with our own 2 hands.
Yeah.
Madiba said it is now in your hands, and with us Knitwits for Madiba, it literally is. And we are so fortunate that SABC have come on board to help drive
That
the
is
campaign.
massive.
How's that?
High five.
High
Because
five.
if it isn't for a corporate, unfortunately, you can shout and scream and talk and do whatever, but they got the money. And you need the money, you need the push, you need the nationwide publicity, you need all of that.
Exactly.
So this just gives you more power to get the message
Exactly.
out there.
You know what, Leanne? We don't trade in money, we trade in wool. We trade in goodwill. And SABC have shown such goodwill, and Airlink, who are going to transport every blanket from around South Africa, along with Stutterford van lines, to bring all the blankets to the union buildings to lay across the vast lawns around the statue of Nelson Mandela. And we're going to do an aerial photograph.
Wow.
That photograph will become iconic around the world to show what we South Africans are doing to keep the legacy of our great Nelson Mandela alive with each and every stitch that we make with our own 2 hands.
So you are basically telling people to knit these blankets. What do we do? Where do we deliver them once you've done them?
Okay, SABC offices around the country, shops, stores. SABC have really come on board. Airlink, Stutterford van lines, drop off your blankets there. If you go onto our website, www.67blankets.co.za, you'll find all the information, the ambassadors around the country in Cape Town, Bloemfontein, here, there and everywhere. Connect with the ambassador in your part of the world, in South Africa, and be in touch. And you can drop off with your ambassador. There are knitathons around the country, and go to knitathons.
Exactly, and we use Facebook and Twitter. They've been great tools.
I know you do use that a
for
lot.
bringing people together to know where to meet, to do knitathons, to meet up with people who are going to help you, teach you, learn how to knit or crochet. So we're using the social networks as a vehicle to get people together. So that's where you can get the info as well.
Tell me, had you ever known how to do this before?
I actually didn't.
You didn't?
Carolyn started it, and she put out obviously the Facebook update to say, friends, help me out. I need to do this. I can't do it on my own.
Yeah.
And I went to YouTube, and I learned on YouTube.
Oh, so you took the YouTube video
Yes.
and you learned off YouTube?
Learned off YouTube. It took me about a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I was a slow starter, but then I picked it up. and now I'm on my 4th blanket.
You're
now.
on your 4th
It's
blanket.
amazing.
Should we make our own YouTube video?
Yeah, why not?
Let's teach
Why
people
not?
how to knit. So
Absolutely.
now
Exactly.
I had always remembered there were 2.
You see, what you do is you go over the needle in the hole,
No, hold on.
bring the wool through, over through 2, over through 2. That's all you need to know.
No, but I didn't
It's
see.
amazing. I'll do it slowly just now, but I just have to tell you that
Okay.
schools, we're bringing schools
Yeah.
into the mix because there's so many hands there. Not just with the students, but with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, friends, cousins, aunts, to try to get 21,000 blankets, and their prizes. SABC are giving the most incredible prizes. For schools that put together 21 blankets, they're eligible for a draw.
Sure.
So for every 21 blankets, there's a draw, and the prize is 21,000 rand.
Amazing.
And
That's
there are
amazing.
21 prizes of that. And then there's a grand prize of 210,000 rand for this first school to come up with 670 blankets. And it's not so hard, you know.
It actually isn't. It really,
when you know all
really
the people
isn't.
around, hands on board,
Yeah.
we can do it.
I mean, when we were in school, I remember we used to have to knit these squares, hand them in, create blankets, and I mean, and especially as a school kid, and if you knew there was a prize at the end of it, and you were going to get some mullah out of it,
And
you were going to.
at the knitathon, it's amazing to see there's kids like 6, 7, 10 years old.
Yeah, it's an easy
making
thing
blankets.
to do.
And guys.
And guys,
It's
exactly.
amazing. Well done.
Actually, it's a
I'm
challenge.
so
It's a
proud of
challenge
you.
to the guys out there. It's cool to crochet. It's cool to knit.
Yeah.
It's like the new yoga, basically.
It is,
you
I
know?
suppose it does, and it's nice, and it's actually therapeutic in a way.
Very,
Because I've been
and-
watching you guys, and you never stop. I know I sound like a big mouth because I don't know how to do it. It's terrible. I should practice what I preach. But the thing is that wherever I've gone, you guys have been doing it, and you stand and do it, sit and do it, talk and do
We
it.
dance and do
Dance
it.
and do it. I mean,
And when
it's
you
just a
see
thing.
the people receive the blankets, I mean, the weather's now starting to change now.
That's the reality.
It's so heartwarming. I mean, when I handed in my first blanket, it was like, oh. But then when you see where it's going and when you see how the people receive it and what it means, I mean, a blanket can be everything to someone who doesn't have a
Who
lot.
doesn't have
And
anything.
you know, we take
So-
blankets so for granted. There are so many people without a blanket.
Yeah.
So, and people say, why don't you just go and buy a blanket? And there are many initiatives that do it, and it's fantastic.
But it's
what
not
we
the
are
same.
doing is we are showing that we really, stitch by stitch, are trying to make a difference.
Yeah, and the love that goes into this.
Yeah.
I mean, it is really beautiful to see something like this. And I think at the end of the day, you've achieved something. You're taking this and handing it over to somebody. What was it like giving
Absolutely.
your first blanket over? Tim?
As I say, it took me months and months, but that's the labor of love. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's what it means a lot to give something that when you give it over, then you know that you've sweated, you've spent months,
Yeah.
and the person receiving it know that you've put in a lot of effort into it.
Yeah.
And it's bridging a divide. It's bringing so many people together. When we meet at these knitathons, it's everyone from old to young, whatever background you come from. It's actually, I don't know anything else that's bringing so many people together.
together.
One
It's stunning.
journalist said that 67 Blankets is an initiative that is binding together our nation in a way no government has been able to achieve. And I think those are such powerful words.
That's amazing.
And when you see it unfolding on Facebook, on the 67 Blankets for Nelson Mandela Day group,
Yeah.
it's just like the pictures keep coming, and you see people from all walks of life holding hands, binding together through bright, colourful thread. I have to point out, we've got a new wool called 67 Blankets for Nelson Mandela Day
Oh,
wool.
really?
It's going to be on the shelves in the next few days.
Oh, my gosh.
All around South Africa.
Okay, so you support
How's
this
that?
wool as well.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. You can try and teach me a bit in the break.
Okay.
And then we'll just wrap it up again and tell you where to deliver those blankets, when to start knitting, and to break that Guinness World Book of Records. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Trust me. Stay tuned.